Chapter 5, Strategy at 50,000 feet to the ground level. The question in this chapter is, 95% of people in an organization can't tell you what. You'll find the answer as you read the chapter. Strategy at 50,000 feet is an expression I use to explain the elevated view that leaders must have while they're crafting strategy. They rise up to 50,000 feet, but then must execute at the ground level. And the challenge for the leaders is to translate the high-level big thinking to the people on the ground so that they understand what are the right actions to take. Because execution is all about your people taking the right action. But to move from 50,000 feet to the ground requires a substantial focus from leaders, more than it typically receives. And to assist you in the chapter, I introduce the 3 broad themes of execution that help you step by step move down from that 50,000 feet to ground level. Over our years of research and the work I've done under my company Bridges, we've identified that these 3 broad themes are what most organizations go through. The first one is you need to create awareness. You need for everyone to understand why the organization is transforming and what the new strategy is about. The second is build excellence. You must put in the components, the parts, the structure, the systems, the mechanisms, the tools and the techniques for people to really move towards excellence in execution. And the third is the follow through. How you constantly reinforce and review what is going on. These are dealt in much more detail in the second part of the book. I also share with you the challenge in the chapter of being unstructured against structured. And I also look in detail about the speed of which you move through these 3 broad themes. And the term I use is the strategy cadence. Your strategy cadence is the speed at which your organization must execute. It is something that many organizations have not considered before. I also introduce in this chapter, to support you, a framework that we've used in my company Bridges for many years, called the Implementation Compass. The Implementation Compass explains the 8 areas that are required to achieve the excellence in execution, and each of these areas is explained. And at the end of the chapter, I introduce the readiness to execute assessment, where you're able to identify how ready your organization is to achieve excellence in execution.